normally wear a hat like that now, would you?
No, definitely not.
It must be a very special day today for you.
Absolutely. I didn't buy a hat last year and we got beaten in the final, and I had bought one the year before, so the hat had to come today.
If Moravcik plays for Celtic, he may cause us a few problems, but in the end we'll still be victorious.
What do you think the score will be today?
I think it'll be quite close, but Rangers will definitely win.
And what do you think of the new Hampden Park?
Well, I think it's absolutely wonderful.
Great, I am here, Hampden Park. I have got a ticket. I will be here. I'll be cheering my team on all the way through.
You're going to stop the treble today. Easy. The treble's getting stopped today. Easy. There's no treble getting done today. No way.
Celtic should win today. Moravcik will make the difference. 2-0.
What's going to make the difference today, do you think?
We have to win. That's the difference. And we will win. And Lubo's back, so that's a big thing.
I would like the same as Manchester United and Bayern Munich. I'd like Rangers to be winning 1-0 right up to the dying minutes and Celtic score 2 goals and send them home happy.
It'd be nice to finish the season with a trophy. That's the most important thing, I think.
And good afternoon. Yes, as you say, the last Scottish Cup final of the 20th century as we look at Tommy Docherty, ex-Scotland manager, ex-Manchester United manager. In fact, I think it was he who coined the joke, he's in more clubs than Jack Nicklaus. And magnificent views all around the spanking new Hampden Park Stadium. £63 million has been spent, bringing it bang up to date. And this, the 114th Scottish Cup final, the 14th between Celtic and Rangers. They're the lineup of mascots in the foyer just at the mouth of the tunnel. What a great moment for these youngsters about to unfold. Yes, 13 Old Firm Cup finals up till now. It currently stands at 7-5 in Celtic's favour. And if you think that 7-5 doesn't make 13, you're right, because on one occasion the cup was withheld after 2 draws between the two teams. It's the first Old Firm Cup final since 1989, and if you cast your mind back 10 years, you might just remember that Joe Miller scored the only goal on that occasion as Celtic won by a 1-0. Indeed, Celtic have won the last 3 Old Firm Cup finals, and always by just the solitary goal. So the scene is set and the buzz is going around the stands as the Rangers and the Celtic supporters find out who will be representing them on the pitch this afternoon. Certainly a few raised eyebrows up here about the two lineups, and even as far as the substitutes bench, when you look at the Celtic bench, there's no Mark Burchill, who scored 8 times this season, including 2 last weekend against Dundee United. And no Jonathan Johansson in reserve for Rangers. And of course Johansson has scored 17 times, not far short of a goal a game in terms of starting appearances for him. But Johansson not there. It's Ian Ferguson and Scott Wilson alongside Andrei Kanchelskis in reserve for Rangers. And if you've just joined us as we look down from our camera in the sky, this spectacular overview of Hampden Park, the big news is that Derek McInnes is brought in as a starter for Rangers. As we've just been saying, it's not so very long ago he was turning out for Stockport County out on loan. He was wondering if his Rangers days were over. They're certainly not, and he's back with a bang here and into the cup final side at the expense of Andrei Kanchelskis. Celtic surprises as well in that Rico Annoni is brought back, but he is a big match specialist. He played in so many big games for them. There's Mark Reaper, a long-term absentee for Celtic, and this is the Celtic lineup These are the 11 players selected, 4 changes in the side compared with the side which beat Dundee United last weekend in the last league game of the season, and notable absentees: Vidar Reset, who's on international business with Norway, and Mark Viduka, the striker, who's been Henrik Larsson's partner of late. He is injured. That's the Celtic lineup. We'll hear from Gordon in a minute, but let's refresh our memories on the Rangers 11. And while Celtic have squad numbers, Rangers switch 1 to 11, and there's the name of Derek McInnes, and I'm sure he's as surprised as anyone that he features in the starting lineup for Rangers. McInnes is in, Rod Wallace is back. He's been suspended of late. He missed the Kilmarnock match, the 1-1 draw, and Andrei Kanchelskis drops down to the bench, and Claudio Reyna, the USA international midfielder who's been so prominent for them in the last half dozen games, he is ineligible to start. So Gordon, your thoughts, having had a few moments to drink in those two lineups?
I think Celtic today obviously are going to have a go at Rangers in the forward position. I think Larsson certainly will play as the main man up front, but you have to say that Moravcik will float just off him. He'll be a difficult player to pick up. He'll play in the spaces. He's a very, very intelligent player. Apart from his ability, he's got the intelligence to drag players all over the place. And Rangers, if they've got a back four, as we assume they're going to have a square back four, nobody in that back four will want to really be dragged into midfield to pick Moravcik up. So he could be a real key player for them. And if Blinker is allowed a bit of freedom to go and join in. At one stage of the season, when Blinker came in for Moravcik, he was Celtic's top performer after Moravcik was out injured. But today, Celtic have them both back in. So vital. Depends how they mark at the back, because I'm not sure how Rangers will deploy McCann, whether they'll actually put him up front alongside Amato, or whether they'll play him in a wide area. But a big change today with Rangers line up is the way they're playing, not having the two wide players in Kanchelskis and McCann. They've been doing that for most of the season, and they've changed today. And I think it's more or less he's got a little bit of Celtic in mind, Dick Advocaat, how they play, and most of what he's done today tactically is to try and blunt Celtic's threat.
It's a great occasion, obviously, as we look around Hampden Park, and it's a big afternoon for this 51-year-old Dutchman. Dick Advocaat, what a season he's had since taking over from Walter Smith last summer. The League Cup is locked away in the Ibrox trophy room. The Championship trophy, that was the big one. That too has been won, and Dick Advocaat stands just one game, this game, short of a glorious treble. But the man casting a glance across at him there, 63-year-old Dr. Joseph Venglos, plans to stop Rangers in their treble tracks. It's been a difficult season for Venglos. He came out on the scene late for Celtic. It was always going to be difficult for him. He was always going to be fighting a losing battle in terms of getting the team he wanted on the pitch, and maybe it's all happened a bit too late for him to mount a serious challenge to Rangers in terms of the title race, which was the big one. But one match can make a big difference. This one certainly can for Celtic. It could make the difference between a blank season and a season that ends with silverware, Gordon.
Yes, team's coming out now. A big match for Joseph Venglos. A very nice guy. I think a good coach as well. Very experienced man. But could this be his last game in charge of Celtic if they don't win? Be interested to see what happens. I'm not even sure about being sacked. I just mean he may just walk away from it, go back to Slovakia. He's had a good season, nevertheless, in terms of the way Celtic have played. But silverware is what counts for a big club like Celtic.
The Celtic supporters giving their team a huge greeting. And there he is, number 7, Derek McInnes. The big surprise in the Rangers lineup this afternoon. Ex of Morton, and on loan this season to Stockport County. And how will Derek McInnes adapt to the big match atmosphere? This must be the biggest moment of his football life. And the Rangers fans in turn welcoming their side out and hoping that there'll be some treble celebrations to come for them. It's a nice touch about this cup final that it's the Celtic mascots who've come out with the Rangers players and vice versa. There's Lubo Moravcik, a glittering football career so far with Czechoslovakia, Slovakia, football in France, and and his career before Celtic was in Germany, but he's never won a winner's medal in competitive football. And the good-natured build-up continues with handshakes between the two teams. When you think back 4 weeks ago to that Old Firm match at Celtic Park, and you just hope that there will be no repeat of the trouble both on and off the pitch which marred that final Old Firm league match of the season. Hopefully that will not apply today, and the headlines tonight and tomorrow will be all about one of the best football matches we've seen in the Scottish Cup final. The two managers head back. There's a handshake between Dick Advocat and Joseph Venglos, two wily old campaigners, and do they have some tactical surprises up their sleeves. Hugh Dallas tosses the coin with Rangers skipper Lorenzo Amoruso and Celtic's Tom Boyd. Boyd, who won the Scottish Cup and lifted it aloft with Motherwell back in 1991. There were two trophies for him to accept last season, the League Championship trophy and the League Cup. But of course the Scottish Cup final was contested by Hearts and Rangers. Rangers lost, and that meant Rangers had a completely blank season, and they hope that they can win all three this time round.
One thing is, Rob, the pitch is in absolutely fantastic condition. I was down on it there, and you have to say, if the players can't play on that pitch, then they'll never play anywhere. It's brilliant, and there are so many talented ones on shore. And I noticed, incidentally, the referee is wearing black just to help the supporters with their songs today.
Yeah, I think we know a song about that one, don't we? We just saw the Celtic huddle there. There's been an awful lot of talk about huddles since the last Old Firm match. That was the traditional Celtic version. Henrik Larsson was at the heart of it. The match is about to begin, and for Hugh Dallas, it's his third Scottish Cup final in the space of 4 years. He refereed 1996, Rangers 5, Hearts 1. He refereed 97, Kilmarnock 1, Falkirk 0. And this is his third cup final in the last 4 years. That's a tribute to his abilities as the top match official in Scotland, and how brave he was 4 weeks ago at Celtic Park as the 1999 Tennent Scottish Cup final gets underway. It's Celtic against Rangers, and immediately we look down and see how the two teams are shaping up tactically. Morten Wieghorst slipping on this pristine playing surface. Tony Vidmar knocking a long ball across for Colin Hendry, who may well need to take some rest for his injured groin after this match is over, which might deprive Scotland of his services in the forthcoming Euro 2000 doubleheader. Well, already Bev Van Lingen is scribbling. I'm not quite sure what he's got to scribble about, but he's taking notes already alongside Dick Advocat in the Rangers dugout.
Probably just noting the Celtic team, the way they've started, deployed the players. Larsson, Moravcik up front together, midfield three, Wieghorst, Lambert in the middle, Blinker on the left-hand side. They've pushed Annoni in to pick up Wallace, who's dropped off. McCann is playing for Rangers on the left-hand side with Amato up front on his own. And that allows them to have Wallace dropping slightly deeper, and Annoni is picking up in a man-for-man role. Mjallby picking up Amato with Stubbs the free player at the moment.
Again, Hendry in possession, sliding the pass through, looking for Gabriel Amato. Reggie Blinker intercepted, and the ball now in the hands of Sergio Porrini, who's missed only one match for this season for Rangers, 54 out of 55. Neil McCann on the ball, but not getting much room from Tom Boyd. That's understandable. It's for Amato, backing into Johan Mjallby, and a free kick goes against Amato, given by Hugh Dallas in favour of Celtic. And Mjallby, who will feature for Sweden against England in a week's time. Alan Stubbs with the free kick for Henrik Larsson, headed away by Amoruso. Onto the ball is Moravcik, can't quite get it under control. And time for Amoruso to get the pass away to Tony Vidmar. poor one from Amoruso, straight at Reggie Blinker. Diving into the tackle, trying to atone for his error. Free kick given against him.
A little bit harsh, I thought, on Amoruso there. I thought it was a fairly good challenge there. I think he made contact with the ball and Larsson at the same time.
Alan Stubbs trying to force himself towards the edge of the penalty area. That's good play from Giovanni van Bronckhorst. Knocked over by Reggie Blinker, but he was very strong on the ball there, very composed in a pressure situation.
Yeah, great work by Van Bronckhorst. Likewise, I thought that at first that Blinker had just actually touched the ball, but he didn't. He made contact with Van Bronckhorst first. But definitely Celtic are employing a man-for-man role on who they consider the key attacking players. Wallace picked up by Annoni, and also Tommy Boyd is going everywhere with Neil McCann. Amato picked up by Mjallby.
Rod Wallace trying to find a way through. Screams from the Rangers supporters for a free kick, not given. He went directly at the Celtic defence there, and he's on the ball again. Annoni sticking to him very tightly, that's a foul. Rod Wallace just nudged the ball away from Rico Annoni, and the Italian defender was committed to the challenge. Free kick.
Clever play from Rod Wallace there. He just drew him in, drew Annoni into that challenge, and knew he was going to get a free kick there. Dangerous situation with Van Bronckhorst's ability to swing them in.
Hendry and Amoruso both there for the Van Bronckhorst free kick, nodded back by Amoruso, cleared by Mjallby. Counter-attacking possibilities here for Moravcik. Up ahead of him is Henrik Larsson. Did well to hold off the Derek McInnes challenge. Still it's Larsson, in for Blinker. Shoulder to shoulder were Blinker and Van Bronckhorst. That was important defending from the Dutchman in the Rangers midfield.
Yeah, it was a good break from Celtic. Larsson did superbly well, and so did Van Bronckhorst, just enough to nudge Blinker off. Celtic fans obviously crying for a penalty there, but it would have been a really harsh one, soft challenge, but he just did enough to push him up. Good tracking back by Van Bronckhorst there, but it was a good break from Celtic from a situation Rangers almost getting in from the free kick.
Sergio Porrini aims a pass at Gabriel Amato. Can't hold possession. Reggie Blinker got it back, and now Paul Lambert. Tom Boyd alongside him. Martin Wieghorst. He's played just a handful of matches this season after injury. He's forced his way back into the first team. One back for Rangers, and Albertz through to Amato. As well, great feet Gabriel Amato, good control. Here's Albertz on the wrong side, trying to work it onto the left foot. Good challenge by Paul Lambert, and Celtic play it out calmly to Moravcik. The reverse pass for Larsson. He's got pace, gets there before Amoruso. Trying to get beyond the Rangers skipper. Amoruso had the strength to hold him off. Now Tony Vidmar. It was a threatening looking break by Larsson. He certainly had the pace on Amoruso, but Amoruso used his body well. Giovanni van Bronckhorst, right at the heart of the midfield. Rangers will look to him to dictate the play. A wall of sound around Hampden Park. 52,000. It's a full house. McInnes and Porrini exchanging passes, given away by Sergio Porrini. Mahe to Blinker. Good challenge by McInnes. But onto the loose ball, almost inevitably, Paul Lambert. Moravcik finding some room, but he slipped as he received the ball, and he's hobbling. This could be an early problem for Celtic. Moravcik, who's struggled with hamstring trouble for the last 3 months. He's trying to run off the knock. From Bronckhorst to Vidmar. Obvious concern in the Celtic dugout about Moravcik. He's moving a little bit freer now.
It's very cagey stuff at the moment, Rob. Both teams are feeling each other out. Rangers having a difficulty just making that final pass because of the tight marking from Celtic. The Celtic defenders on top of them, and the Rangers players at the back are looking up, and they're not seeing any free players at the moment. So they're going to have a bit more coming from their back players. Maybe Amoruso even busting through into midfield, getting getting behind Bronckhorst and Albertz on the ball, but Celtic have done a good job so far in just stopping Rangers play.
Amoruso slipped the ball away, looking for a free kick, not given. And there's a good challenge by Colin Hendry, superbly timed on Moravcik. And a well-timed tackle as well from Stefan Mahe. This was important from Hendry.
Yeah, it was a very important challenge. Moravcik, just doesn't look quite as sharp as he did in the early part of his Celtic career, but he is coming back from injury. But nevertheless, with the free roll he's getting in there, you just think that eventually it will spark something and he'll create something from Celtic's point of view.
Long ball from Porrini, good touch from Amato. Way off to Rod Wallace, adopts this midfield position, now he's sprinting towards the area. It's a good run by Tony Vidmar. Looking for the break of the ball off Tom Boyd. Wieghorst has it, and plays it off Rod Wallace for the Celtic throw. Amoruso was well up. Lambert to Blinker. Celtic looking to get Stefan Mahe down the left touchline. Lambert again, taking his time, choosing his moment. And Alan Stubbs pushing forwards. Angled ball into the box for Henrik Larsson, but it was far too close to Stefan Klos.
Yeah, it was the right idea. Celtic building up on the left-hand side. You see there Stubbs, who's a free player in that Celtic back four. He's a man who hasn't any man-marking responsibilities there. He's the one who has to make the play, but it wasn't a good ball, allowing Klos to come out and take it quite comfortably.
Mjallby has things under control and turned out to play by Mahe, sent off in shame 4 weeks ago at Celtic Park. An almost unbelievable couple of minutes as he was dragged screaming from the pitch. McInnes ahead of Rod Wallace. Turns it back from the byline, but the whistle had already gone for a free kick against Wallace. The ball seemed to spring up and touched off his shoulder. That's why the free kick's been given.
Yeah, I think it was a linesman that gave that, because there's no way that Mr. Dallas could have spotted that from the angle he was out there, but I think the flag went up and just to help the referee there.
Amoruso won the header against Moravcik. Breaks off Albertz for Bronckhorst. He's got some room to push up. McCann and Gabriel Amato at the edge of the box. Rod Wallace approaching fast. The cross didn't get that far. Albertz to McCann. Some hefty challenges going in. Wieghorst striding forward. Blinker into the feet of Henrik Larsson. That's where he wants it, but he was hustled out of it by a combination of Hendry and McInnes. Now Mahe. Larsson is pushed out to the left hand side. Blinker's in the middle. No way past McInnes. That's good defending from McInnes. Henrik Larsson thwarted. There's the view from behind Mahe into the Rangers penalty box, looking for some options to open up ahead of him. We'll get it back from Larsson. He's away from Porrini, and off the rear quarters of Lorenzo Amoruso. Corner kick, first of the match.
I think he had a good opportunity to throw it in a couple of times there. Stefan Mahe did the second one and he didn't do it very well. He really wanted to take his right foot round that and curl that in. Dangerous situation, but still the corner. Moravcik is good from these positions.
Stubbs, Mjallby, Wieghorst, all there. The free kick has already been given.
Yeah, there was pushing in the box there, but you just saw the quality again in Moravcik's corner there. Swung in near post, giving all sorts of problems. Keeper couldn't come for it there. I think it was just Reggie Blinker was just trying to hold Klos off, and if he hadn't done that, I don't think Klos would have got there.
Moravcik, who missed 3 months with hamstring trouble, injured against Motherwell in February, and made his comeback only last weekend. Amato against Mjallby. Rangers have the throw, and Sergio Porrini will sprint forward to take it. Mjallby, an avid collector of yellow cards and 1 red as well this season. Shaping up for the long throw, Porrini. Instead, shot to Amato. He's away from Mahe. And covering up in behind was Mjallby, but Celtic won't want to see Mahe charging into challenges like that.
No, not with Amato. He turns people very, very well. You can see there that he uses his strength, takes a nice touch, and Mjallby wasn't happy there with Mahe at all for not getting in the challenge and allowing him to turn it, because he was then drawn out of position.
Hendry and Amoruso in the area. Van Bronckhorst's corner kick, and that's well collected by Jonathan Gould. That's a good start for him. Moravcik. The pass behind Tom Boyd. Paul Lambert directing operations. To his skipper. Overrun at Boyd. Breaks for Larsson. And Moravcik, now Blinker. Left by Hugh Dallas. Works it on to Larsson. And Sergio Porrini thumps it clear. Now Rangers want Amato to hold the ball in that sort of situation. Lost it very quickly. And now Mahe to Blinker. Good pressure from Celtic. It's Moravcik. Clever ball in. Rod Wallace flung himself at it. Lambert shot charged down. Back from Wieghorst to Boyd. And Morten Wieghorst again. Tony Vidmar trying to shut him down. Into Larsson. Good spell this for Celtic. It's Tom Boyd flighted beyond Moravcik. And out comes Klos. Celtic unable there to find the final ball, but it was promising build-up.
Yeah, they're having more of the game at the moment, and certainly in the final third they're building up better. They're getting players forward, they're getting passes going. You have to say the Rangers have defended it pretty well in the end. That was a great challenge in there in the middle of all that from Amoruso, perfectly timed on Larsson, and it had to be. It was in the box. Larsson could easily have turned in there, it could easily have been a penalty. But the Rangers haven't been as fluent at all in the final third. They're not getting things going. They can't get McCann in the game, they can't get Amato in the game.
McCann is in the game now, cutting infield into the feet of Wallace. The return pass, not all it might have been. And that's a foul. Clumsy challenge, more than a malicious one from Gabriel Amato. And Hugh Dallas was too close for there to be any chance of getting away with this. Amato, who scored 9 times in just 15 starts this season for Rangers, although may well be offloaded in the summer. Tony Vidmar lucky to get a second bite at that. Long ball headed away by Mjallby. Back from Blinker to Lambert. Some room for Morten Wieghorst. Rangers funneling back, getting behind the ball. Well won by Giovanni van Bronckhorst. And good vision as well to spot McCann and a few yards of room. Building up some momentum. Tripped by Johan Mjallby. Hugh Dallas reaches into his pocket. And Mjallby's collection of yellow cards continues. This is number 10 of the season for him. And a foul which he'll feel he had to make on McCann because he was beginning to build up some pace.
Yeah, I think that sets a bit of a precedent for the referee though. I don't think a yellow card was deserved on that occasion, to be honest. So I think definitely a foul. McCann's making a burst, but you can see there he's genuine attempt to try and play the ball. But you know, there's always going to be tackles like that in these sort of games, and you just think that Mr. Dallas will now have to end up handing out quite a few yellows in the coming minutes.
Now here's a pressure point for Jonathan Gould in the Celtic defence. Everyone behind the ball for Celtic, and some menacing figures behind the ball for Rangers, namely George Albertz. It's Albertz and it's too high. Wasted opportunity from the set piece. Giovanni van Bronckhorst was another option for Rangers here. But he's hit the target often enough to have a go, George Albertz, and that scored not one of his better efforts.
No, not really. The first real chance for him to have a shot at goal there, and certainly wasted it. Maybe the ball with the turf's been so good at sitting up that little bit, and he almost like playing it off a tee, but not a good strike from his point of view.
Page 27 of the book of excuses, I think that one, the ball sitting up on the new turf.
I would have used that one, yeah.
Lorenzo Amoruso for Rangers. Tony Vidmar. Vidmar, another who's improved as this season's gone on for Rangers. Bronckhorst. Lambert close to him. Wallace got there just before the diving figure of Alan Stubbs. Tony Vidmar leaves the throw to Albertz. McCann comes close. Now finds some room down the line. He stumbled, McCann, and the danger was over. Played out by Stubbs to Wieghorst. On his own up front at the moment for Celtic is Larsson. Here's the man who Celtic want to support him further forward, Moravcik. Easily relieved of possession again. Very calm, very composed, very commanding, Lorenzo Amoruso. And alongside him, Scotland skipper Colin Hendry. The pass through for Amato, did well to keep control of the ball, and did even better to find Tony Vidmar. It's a good run by Vidmar, and he's won a free kick in an interesting situation, maybe more worrying for Celtic, is that Moravcik appears to have injured himself in diving into that challenge. They don't want to lose him.
Yeah, certainly there's a foul from Moravcik, but he may have injured himself more, or else he's trying to avoid getting a yellow card, because if Mjallby got one from the tackle before, then Moravcik would stand up and receive a yellow card here.
A lot of debate around about the referee. I think Lorenzo Amoruso is making that very point to the referee about the challenge from Moravcik from behind on Vidmar, and Hugh Dallas is informing Lorenzo Amoruso that he's able to handle the game without the Rangers skipper's interference. Certainly a foul, certainly the tackle was from the back, and Hugh Dallas presumably is giving an explanation as to why the yellow card has not been shown. Meantime, on the ground still is Moravcik, and Celtic desperate to get him restored and back into the match. He's up and about now as Dick Advocat looks on. I'm sure Advocat shares the viewpoint of Amoruso about the challenge, but Moravcik I should say, not booked, and he's back in the action. Over the ball for Rangers, Giovanni van Bronckhorst just behind it. It's Lorenzo Amoruso into the side netting, but Jonathan Gould looked fairly happy that this was whistling wide.
Yeah, he didn't catch it all that well, but at least he opened the goal up for themselves, and he shot it into the side net. Maybe the Rangers have done that when they won before, with Albertz just having the first time shot over the bar. Maybe it'd been better to open the goals up, a little touch to the side and come onto it, but that's two efforts from free kicks now, which have hit the target. But Celtic certainly are playing a more fluid football going forward, but Rangers are defending reasonably well at this stage.
There's another tussle between Amato and Mjallby. Again, the decision goes against the Argentinian striker. A little bit of petulance from him, and I don't think we need to add subtitles to that. Little discussion between the referee and the Rangers striker. Another free kick given meantime. Celtic inching forward. Cluster of players around the ball. Henrik Larsson leaves it to Moravcik. Stefan Klos ready for some action in front of him. It's Moravcik into Larsson. Hendry's there. The back heel attempt by Larsson was blocked by the Scotland skipper. But it's back into the danger area. And off the crossbar. So close from Paul Lambert. He's scored only once this season. That was at Ferguson Park a long time ago. But what a good volley this was off the top of the crossbar.
The Rangers made a bit of mess of the defending there. George Albertz knocked it back in, but the ball just broke to Paul Lambert. He did exactly the right thing, a fantastic effort. He had beaten Klos off the top of the bar. There was curl in it, there was dip in it, but just couldn't get it down quick enough to get it in the net.
Free kick, and it's Lambert who's won it. Good to see a handshake though there between the two players. Giovanni van Bronckhorst committed the foul again, borderline in terms of bookable. Here's Tom Boyd for Blinker, played away very quickly. That was good play from Derek McInnes. He was pressurising Blinker and he played the pass too quickly. It's the closest we've seen so far, the shot from Lambert. Off the top of the Rangers crossbar. Porrini. Amato. Cleverly dummied. Mjallby was alive to what was happening. And Wallace says the last touch was off Amato, so Celtic throw. And you can hear how that's been received by the Rangers supporters.
Yeah, he overruled his assistant again there, Wallace. I think that I do feel sorry for Mjallby how he got that yellow card, because there have been one or two challenges almost similar to it that they haven't resulted in it for players of both sides. But Mjallby's got it, and we all know that he's always capable of making another foul, a bad foul in the game, and certainly playing against Amato, who is very, very good at turning players. He likes to let the ball run through. If he gets too close and makes a number of fouls, then Mjallby could be in real danger of going off today.
Moravcik plays it through, looking for Larsson. Back from Hendry to Klos. Gordon, you were talking about tackles. Giovanni van Bronckhorst surely fortunate there just a couple of minutes ago that he wasn't yellow carded.
Yeah, I mean, that's exciting. You wonder why Mjallby got his and Van Bronckhorst for a similar type of challenge got away.
Here's Rico Annoni. Shut down by Wallace. In for Larsson, got the head flick. Moravcik works it on to Blinker. Headed away by Amoruso, he is well up. Lorenzo Amoruso again, saying I want the ball, and I'm getting it. He's been very dominant in these early stages, using his physique. The return pass heavily hit by McInnes for Porrini. As we look at Lorenzo Amoruso.
Rangers have defended well all round in the early part of this game. I think Amoruso has been absolutely outstanding. His challenges have been crisp, he's been winning the ball, he's been busting forward and starting off moves. He's playing the real captain's part for Rangers today.
Alan Stubbs heading up for Celtic. Wieghorst already there. Mjallby not far behind. In from Moravcik, up goes Klos, punches it away. In those sort of situations, he always looks a small goalkeeper. He always looks to be struggling when the high ball is well played in, and that was well flighted by Moravcik, and Klos didn't look too happy as he punched that clear. And it comes from Annoni this time. Again it's Amoruso with the winning header. Played by McCann to Wallace. The Rangers in too much of a hurry and they've lost possession. Lambert to Wieghorst. What can they make of this? Corner kick off Vidmar. Rangers losing possession at a bad moment and sparking a Celtic attack.
Yeah, I think Wieghorst could have made a bit more of the cross actually. He got beyond the fullback, really was required to whip his foot round it, get it in the box. Rangers were struggling to defend it, but as it is, another Moravcik corner.
Flighted in right-footed, headed away by George Albertz. Back with Lubo Moravcik again. Amoruso cleared nonchalantly. Free kick given against George Albertz for the high boot against Tom Boyd. It's not really the happiest of starts to the match for Albertz. And a Celtic free kick. Moravcik in charge of every dead ball situation. In towards Stubbs. Free kick given against him. He was jumping against both Hendry and Amoruso. Rangers free kick.
Yeah, I think didn't seem much in him. I think he just was using the other player's shoulders just to leverage himself. But I think he did the Kyle a little bit worried at the moment. You're thinking you're defending pretty well, you're building up quite nicely through the midfield at times, but no real punch from Rangers. Not really creating many openings at all. The two shots from free kicks, but apart from that, nothing at all. And Celtic are pouring through very quickly on Rangers every time they win the ball.
Gabriel Amato hit the deck, looked for a free kick, as did the entire Rangers bench. Not given by Wallace, and still Amato is screaming at the referee. The challenge was from Mjallby. Celtic have it with Lambert. Blinker. That was well shut down by Derek McInnes. Now Rod Wallace, he's away from Annoni, and out comes Jonathan Gould. Superb goalkeeping, it saves Celtic. Rod Wallace looked to have a great chance to give Rangers the lead. Annoni looked sluggish. Wallace had the better of him. and out came Gould.
Well, it all came from McInnes' tackle that was good, but Wallace did brilliantly. I felt he was very, very unlucky there. He just couldn't quite turn it in. Jonathan Gould took advantage of the fact that he was just off balance as he turned past Enrico Annoni, and that just gave the keeper the option that just to get in there and make the challenge. It had to be made, it had to be won, but Gould did brilliantly.
So twice Jonathan Gould's been called into action so far. He's done well, clutching across confidently, and that stopped. Wieghorst's cross deflected on its way in and held quite comfortably by Stefan Klos at the other end.
I think Rangers need to do a little bit more to close down Paul Lambert in the midfield area. He's getting a bit of control in there, he's making a lot of passes, he's starting a lot of moves off, and I think they really do need to move like Bronckhorst on top of him just to make sure that they can stop Celtic operating in that central midfield area.
Sergio Porrini's header, that was Giovanni van Bronckhorst, hammered away by Mjallby. Left by Colin Hendry. Henrik Larsson trying to get on the end of his fellow Swede's clearance. 38 goals this season for Henrik Larsson. Rangers beat Stenhousemuir, Hamilton, Falkirk and St Johnstone to get to this stage. Celtic got beyond Airdrie, Dunfermline, Morton and Dundee United. The 14th Old Firm Scottish Cup final. Annoni's throw. Larsson tried to flick it on. Amoruso won it. He's lost it now. Moravcik against Van Bronckhorst. Blinker, he's been well policed so far by Derek McInnes. In from Annoni, high hanging ball, watched all the way by Klos, the third choice German international keeper behind McCann and Lehmann. That was Mjallby, won it well against Amato. Hendry through, clever use of the chest by Gabriel Amato, strength on the ball as well, good footwork. That was a lunging challenge. Now Van Bronckhorst. Well, you do well to reach the stand behind the goal from that sort of situation. That one went pretty close. Certainly went nowhere near the goal from Van Bronckhorst.
Yeah, I think so desperate to try and get a shot in. He's got an excellent strike on his left foot, but you know, Amato has complained about the sort of treatment he's received in the game so far. Now Derek McInnes has been spotted. He's obviously taken on the role of translating for Gabriel Amato there in terms of how he feels about the treatment he's got. But he came through a couple of challenges that I felt were illegal. He was getting held back, and then I also thought it was a two-footed tackle came in from Alan Stubbs. I think he deserved a foul at that stage, but maybe the fact that the ball had broken out to Van Bronckhorst, the referee just decided that there was an opportunity for Rangers and he just allowed the play to go on. But you have to say that Amato always does make it difficult for defenders. He really is an awkward customer to play against.
That's what he does so well as well, holding the ball up, using his strength, using his great skill on the ball, his clever feet. He may lack pace, but he certainly has abilities in other areas. Martin Wieghorst still off the pitch for Celtic, doing some boot work, some boot alterations, and Celtic momentarily down to 10 men. Not now, Wieghorst is back on. Tony Vidmar in possession. From Bronckhorst to McInnes. The introduction of McInnes has left Kanchelskis on the bench. He's there along with Ian Ferguson and Scott Wilson. McCann overrunning the ball. Thumped clear by Rico Annoni. Nobody up for Celtic. And all the time in the world for Amoruso. Hendry, there were some doubts about whether he would be fit enough to start this match. He is so desperate to play. It's a lifelong ambition for him to play for Rangers, and absolutely delighted to be playing in the Tenant Scottish Cup final.
No doubt, Rob, I think Rangers are suffering a little bit from the not getting in a normal system where they have the two wide players in McCann and Kanchelskis who can always be found in the stretch of the game. Don't really have that width today, not even getting it through the fullbacks because of the way Celtic are deployed their players to get right on top of them. So it is a little bit of a change of tack from Rangers' point of view. Set out obviously to try and make sure that Celtic don't get the freedom to play in the midfield, but consequently it's meant that they're just not quite a good attacking force at the moment. They're not, as I said, getting their vital forwards into the game. Amato's getting on the ball a lot, but it's all into his feet, and there's not really a lot of problems getting caused in behind apart from that little run with Wallace off the good Derek McInnes tackle.
12 minutes to go to half-time. That's a Rangers throw, despite the best efforts of Mjallby. Porrini's throw over the top, looking for Neil McCann. Larsson's lay-off, played through by Paul Lambert, he rushed it. Now George Albertz getting forward. This is the furthest forward he's been. In for Neil McCann. And what a good covering challenge that was to deny McCann the goal-scoring opportunity. It was Tom Boyd superbly timed this as McCann looked threatening. Amato gets it back from Wallace. Against all odds, Amato kept the ball until Mjallby won it back for Celtic. Down goes Moravcik, but up quickly again. He knew it wasn't a free kick. Annoni beats Wallace. Flicked in by Mahe to Lambert. Moravcik opening play out, finding some room. Reggie Blinker. Watton Wieghorst alongside. In for Henrik Larsson. Back for Wieghorst. Trying to chip it over the top, but again, Celtic lacking quality on the final ball.
Yeah, it was a nice move from Celtic though. They kept it the tight area, played some short passes, and then all of a sudden they could open it out and got Wieghorst away on the right hand side. Didn't make the best use of it, I don't think, there. The 1-2, Wieghorst maybe pushed a little wide, we like the shot, but Amato's unbelievable at times in how he can hold on to the ball.
Lovely little feint of the body from Neil McCann, which got the better of Tom Boyd. Still he has it, chipped in, and out comes Jonathan Gould. It was aimed at Gabriel Amato, almost got there. Good anticipation from Gould.
Superb play from Neil McCann, one of the few times he's got free.
At the other end it's Henrik Larsson, out comes Klos, a desperate effort to save. Larsson still grounded in the penalty box, and in the space of just 20 seconds there was Jonathan Gould denying Gabriel Amato, and then a mirror image at the other end with Klos getting the better of Larsson.
He's very unlucky, no penalty. I mean, I think the Celtic fans are quite some distance away and they're claiming for one, but Klos came out badly out of that too, because definitely Larsson fell on top of him, but it was very, very unlucky. Almost just with sheer hard work and determination got himself free and had an opportunity there. The final touch just couldn't quite get there as Klos came out. And as happened at the other end just before that, when Jonathan Gould came out and made a very, very tiny interception after McCann's terrific run, terrific pass into the middle, looking to pick out Amato, and Jonathan Gould just managed to stop him. But with excitement at both ends, and now I say we'll get treatment. Larsson is still limping away, and Klos is getting some treatment.
Henrik Larsson is back on his feet after this challenge. Lorenzo Amoruso missed his kick. Larsson got the better of Cullen Hendry as well, but they are playing almost as a sweeper behind the Rangers central defenders, with Stefan Klos dived out to get an important touch on the ball as Henrik Larsson tried to make it 39 for the season. And let's not forget the part played by Jonathan Gould just seconds earlier at the other end as well, as Amato moved in at the far post on the end of that deft chip from Neil McCann. Annoni, his touch not all it might have been. Van Bronckhorst wins it, through for Ron Willis. Great tackle by Alan Stubbs. Again, superb anticipation and good timing. It had to be. Moravcik, the reverse pass for Henrik Larsson. Larsson against Amoruso, the flag is up. The assistant on the far side, John Love, immediately at the flag up against Henrik Larsson. It's a Rangers free kick.
Well, there's been some terrific defending at both ends today. We've seen some last gasp challenges there. Amoruso did well again, just read it perfectly after great work by Moravcik in the midfield, suddenly springing free, knocking the ball through the legs of Derek McInnes as well, and then the lovely angle ball to pick out Larsson. But Larsson was trying to come back inside Amoruso there, which was exactly the right thing to do. The big Rangers defender just stood his ground.
Mjallby to Blinker. His head flick aimed at Moravcik. Moravcik stumbled. That allowed Hendry to get there first. And the whistle has gone for a Rangers free kick in any case. Hugh Dallas indicating the arm was being used around the neck of Hendry by Moravcik. Hendry has the free kick. And being politely informed by the skipper that Lorenzo will take it. Annoni's header away, picked up by Bronckhorst to Albertz, and now Vidmar. It's been a feature of Rangers play this season that Tony Vidmar has got forward down the left-hand side to support the Rangers' attacks. Back to Wallace to Albertz. The threat of Albertz has been pretty well snuffed out in this first half by Celtic. Hendry to Amato. For Porrini, can't get there. The idea was good. Slid the pass inside Stefan Mahe, but Amato lacking. Porrini, I should say, lacking the necessary pace to catch the pass.
Yeah, it was a bit tight. It was always going to be difficult. Porrini very willing to get forward there, but it would have had to be a totally inch-perfect pass for him to get it. But Amato still doing a good job holding things up. But say they still, Rangers don't have any real pattern. I don't think they know where to find their forwards very much today, and with Celtic's tight man-per-man marking, it's giving them very, very few opportunities. You really need to see more from Albertz and a bit more from McCann.
We might see more here from Rod Wallace. Flicks the pass away to Gabriel Amato. He was always struggling though to catch it. They always looked to be running away from him at the corner flag. Unsuccessful. And out for a goal kick. Reggie Blinker arrived at Celtic Park as a wide left player, but since he's come back into the Celtic first team, occupying a more central role in the midfield. A dangerous bouncing ball for Lorenzo Amoruso. No free kick, and that doesn't please Henrik Larsson. It's an intriguing tussle between Larsson and Amoruso. Larsson trying to use all his subtlety. Amoruso using a lot of his strength. Standing firm when the Rangers' defence is under pressure. The Klos clearance. His former teammate at Borussia Dortmund, Paul Lambert. Good play from Lambert, evading challenges from both Wallace and Albertz. And finally, the pass going out of play before Moravcik could get on the end of it. Amato, just for a split second, lost the ball under his feet. Porrini has it for Rangers. Amato again, the pass deflected in. Paul Lambert, and the game swings in the other direction. Moravcik against Vidmar, unlikely to beat him for pace, although he's got plenty of tricks in his book. An indication from Moravcik is that his shirt was being pulled as he tried to get beyond Vidmar. Well, I think that picture tends to back up his view. Free kick given, and quickly taken as well. Flighted in by Moravcik. Out comes Stefan Klos. Good hands. Under pressure from both Stubbs and Larsson. And he was up to it there, it was close.
Yeah, I don't think those are the type of crosses that are going to cause Rangers real problems. Klos came into that one, but they've also got big players in there, and Hendry and Amoruso good in there. What Moravcik really has to do is drive balls in. They're the ones that will cause problems. They're the ones that Larsson can get across defenders and use his aerial power rather than having to try and win the ball that's just drifted and dropped in softly into the box.
2.5 minutes to go to half-time, plus some stoppage time to be added. This engrossing Tennant Scottish Cup final, and you're watching it live on BBC Scotland. Amoruso's header to fellow Italian Sergio Porrini, who won the Italian Cup with Juventus 4 years ago. Bronckhorst doing the chasing and forcing Tom Boyd into the back pass. Jonathan Gould, one of 5 goalkeepers used by Celtic this season. That's a quite incredible statistic. Kerr, Warner, Kerr and McConaughey have featured in the Celtic goal as well. Gould has missed 8 games. Glad to have him back, and he's proved his worth already in this match. Albertz into the feet of Rod Wallace. Tony Vidmar making a run, having to check it to keep himself onside. Amato and McCann in the area, waiting. Rangers prodding the ball around, waiting for the opening to be the right one. But again, the pass heavily hit. And again, a Rangers attacking ploy comes to naught.
Yeah, they forced it a little bit there. As I said, all through this first half, not as fluent as I've seen Rangers in recent games. Celtic haven't made it difficult for them, there's no doubt. Seen very little of the normal circumstance where Albertz comes onto balls in the edge of the box. He's driving at teams, he wants to get on his left foot and shoot. He's had one real effort, and that was the free kick over the bar, but he's not really pushed himself enough into this match from the Rangers point of view. But Celtic have done a good job in the midfield and also just stopping Rangers play in vital areas.
It's a good mazy run from Morten Wieghorst inside the last minute of the first half, but trying to go through one challenge too many. Pressure from McCann and Boyd. Tom Boyd unlikely to be ruffled. And Stubbs finds Moravcik. Morten Wieghorst is not moving too freely in the centre circle. As Annoni pushes up the touchline, blocked across by Rod Wallace. Quickly taken throw towards Larsson, but again it's Lorenzo Amoruso in charge. Here's Wieghorst into stoppage time. 2 minutes of stoppage time to be added. On Bronckhorst for McInnes. McCann is on his own, supported now by Amato. Albertz, strong enough, finds McCann. What can Rangers make of this? Headed away by Blinker. It's Derek McInnes. Shoots too high. His head is in his hands, and the ball flew over the top. It was a decent half chance at the edge of the area after McCann's cross was cleared.
Yeah, I think we're still going to go to page 22 of that excuse manual, Rob. Nobody seems to be able to keep their shots down this first half for Rangers, but I think they should have done a bit better there. It was only a half chance though, but it was an opportunity that Rangers had, finally getting in behind them, getting a cross cut back from the byline, and Derek McCann going on to it. But the main strikers of the ball in there, the Amoruso and should I say Albertz and Bronckhorst, are the people who haven't really had any opportunity to get in the edge of the Celtic box and have a shot. But Mahe took a bit of a knock there, but he's back to his feet.
Inside the second minute of stoppage time, Annoni trying to find Moravcik, lofted forward by Lambert. Larsson and Hendry tangling. Henrik Larsson was the target for the Moravcik pass. Colin Hendry did well to stretch out and win it. And that's half-time. An engrossing first half of the Tennant Scottish Cup final. And Paul Lambert it is who's been closest to breaking the deadlock. His shot flew off the top of the crossbar. Rod Wallace, prominent for Rangers, having to escape his man marker. Rico Annoni and the goalkeepers have been very prominent as well. Jonathan Gould for Celtic and Stefan Klos for Rangers. This was the Lambert shot, lofted over the diving Stefan Klos. It clipped the top of the crossbar. Rod Wallace, always a threat as he darts into the box, foiled there by the diving Jonathan Gould. This was an effort from Neil McCann, a superb saving tackle by Tom Boyd to deny the Rangers player, and what a good intervention that was from Rangers keeper Klos to deny Henrik Larsson at the other end. But it's been a fascinating tussle between these two, both sides reshaping tactically in this cup final, Gordon.
Certainly, I think that Celtic have had the better, they've done the homework, they've gone out to stop Rangers play. They wouldn't have anticipated, I don't think, that Kanchelskis wouldn't play. I'm sure they would have thought that he would play and McCann be wide, and that's why Mahe was in there. Mahe looks a little bit lost at times because there's no one coming into his area really, and he's having to go and think about Porrini coming forward in that situation. But Celtic went man for man on McCann, Amato and Wallace, and it's paid big dividends because so far Rangers haven't really created very much at all, and as they break forward, Celtic have put together the better moves in an attacking sense, but Rangers' defence has stood up really well. Amoruso has been outstanding in the first half, absolutely brilliant in terms of his anticipation, his defending and starting moves, but I'm sure that the happier manager will be Dr. Venglos at half-time. I would imagine that Dick Abaka might want to shift things about, not only in terms of personnel, but maybe in terms of the system as well for the second half.
Sunshine over Hampden at half-time, and an Old Firm Cup final scoreline of Celtic 0, Rangers 0. And there is Moravcik. Looks to be moving freely enough. He's had some treatment inside the Celtic dressing room during the half-time interval. He took a couple of knocks early on, and he's been struggling, of course, for so long with the hamstring injury, which at one point looked as if it would completely wreck his season, but happy to make his comeback to the first team, and more than delighted to be a part of this cup final, looking for his first ever winner's medal at the age of 33. And we've had a message from Mark Viduka that was indeed his girlfriend, in case the publicity should be of the wrong sort. He sitting in the stand, and Vidar Reset also unable to be involved from a Celtic point of view. And the Celtic reshuffled side has done pretty well in the first half, making life very difficult for Rangers. The second half gets underway, and immediately on the ball, the man who dominated a lot of the first half, Lorenzo Amoruso. Rangers switching from squad numbers to 1 to 11 for this cup final. which means that Tony Vidmar wears 5 instead of 25. How will the breakthrough come? Will it be a moment of magic? Will it be a blunder? We'll soon find out. Tony Vidmar, set up by George Albertz. Good save, Jonathan Gould. And inside the first minute after the restart, Jonathan Gould called into action after a good combination between Albertz and Vidmar.
Yeah, very unlucky from Vidmar's point of view. He made it all himself, taking a very tight pass initially wide from Amoruso and then having to go himself and playing a series of 1-2s and finish him with a good right foot shot. But then now he loses the ball.
From the sublime to the ridiculous, robbed by Moravcik. Took too long. Now Wieghorst. The pass was telegraphed and easily cut out by Rod Wallace. Mahe to Blinker. Eric McInnes trying to stick tight. It's Mahe. Still has it, Stefan Mahe, but the danger is now over.
I don't think Martin Wieghorst was too happy with Stefan Mahe there. It was great work by Blinker though. He held the ball beautifully out wide, and I think that they were really looking for Mahe to fire the ball in a lot quicker. They decided to take on Hendry, and Hendry put in a great challenge.
The Rangers' central defensive pair doing well. Hendry and Amoruso. With Mahe at fault there, not playing a punishing ball into the box. Wieghorst for Larsson. Did well to puff out his chest and pull the ball down. Blinker to Wieghorst. Amoruso's challenge. Wieghorst still grounded. Play on, says Hugh Dallas. Porrini down the line for Wallace. Nudging Annoni aside. Free kick given against Wallace.
It's interesting to see how often, Rob, that Rangers players at the back, the full-backs have been used all season to look up when they play their first ball just down the line into the wide player. They sometimes get it back, then they'll look for the next ball in, whereas today they're looking up and there's not a player wide and they're having to wait for the runs, and in that occasion there Porrini had to wait and Wallace coming quite a long way to support him.
Amoruso's clearance deflected off Wieghorst. Back in the possession of Stefan Klos now. You would imagine the Rangers might well contemplate a change before too much longer in this match. Kanchelskis is in reserve, and you wonder if Rangers would feel a whole lot more comfortable with Kanchelskis on the pitch and back to their customary 4-4-2 with two wide men. I'm sure that's in the mind of Dick Advocat, but sticking with it as it is meantime. Vidmar, Wallace, and Rod Wallace again! That's the breakthrough! 4 minutes gone in the second half. It's number 27 of the season for Rod Wallace.
He took it well. It was a good ball in from Vidmar. It caused problems, ricocheted, and a break of the ball definitely. But Rod Wallace was very, very sharply onto it. McCann went in with Stubbs. Look how he took it there. The keeper was coming out, just very, very quickly drew on it with his left foot. But it was a good cross from Vidmar initially that caused the problems. He got wide. He just sent it in low. Rangers have the breakthrough.
And that's what it meant to the manager, Dick Advocat. And Rod Wallace, a free transfer signing from Leeds last summer. So much has been said about him. And when the ball ricocheted off Alan Stubbs, he was sharpest in the box. He was there first, and he drilled the shot away from Jonathan Gould. Rangers 1 up. Albertz in for Amato, still chasing it, and his determination gets it away from Mjallby. Back for George Albertz, little burst of pace, didn't quite catch the shot, but still forced Jonathan Gould into the save. Well built up that by Amato, clever little chip back inside for Albertz. Celtic try to respond with Moravcik and now Mahe. Larsson, won by Wallace, chipped over the top for Amato, he's offside.
He was offside, one of those situations when you've got a perfect view of it, but what Skelly showed earlier on there as well, the beautiful little double drag back on the line, making a fool of Mjallby. But I have to say that Rangers definitely had a little lift from that. It makes spur Celtic on. They had most of the best attacks in the first half, but Rangers stood firm. And now Rangers have the breakthrough, and they'll be very, very difficult to beat from this sort of position. Celtic will really need to throw players forward, and I would imagine at this stage they're probably looking at maybe somebody like Tommy Johnson, who's on the bench. Moravcik hasn't really been an awful lot in the game today, but he is a match winner, but maybe they'll leave Moravcik on and get Johnson on to support him.
The songs are being sung by the Rangers supporters, not surprisingly, with that early second half boost of Rod Wallace's 27th goal of this campaign, his 27th goal for Rangers. What a prolific marksman he's been. Amato's layoff just in time for Vidmar. Albertz looking a bit more prominent for Rangers in the second half. Wieghorst tries to win it for Celtic. What he does get is a free kick. Gabriel Amato has spent a fair bit of the game on the pitch. A close-up view he's had. Blinker leaves it for Moravcik. Now Mahe for Annoni. Across, easy for Amoruso. Not a troublesome ball in. The Rangers skipper again, cannoned in to Wieghorst. Larsson has it, and again, guess who? It's Amoruso, winning everything at the back for Rangers. The deftest of touches from Amato, not quite though for Albertz, couldn't keep it in. Advocat has been supportive all season of Amoruso, even through the bad times, and he's been proved to be right. In the last few months, he's been impressive for Rangers, and in this final he's been simply outstanding so far. Moravcik's reverse pass is clever for Boyd, and Larsson can't quite get there. Cleared by Colin Hendry, just too long the cross ball for Larsson. He was unmarked, and if he could have leapt a little bit higher, that could well have been 1-1.
Thought he was getting there at first, actually. I thought it was definitely on his head when the cross went in at first, and I was surprised when he didn't get there, but the chance gone. Celtic are pushing back a little bit, but the big danger they'll have is the push forward now. Their game plan's gone a little bit to try and hold Rangers. They're a goal down, and as the chances are created as Celtic push forward, there could be a little bit of space, and the likes of Amato and especially McCann to operate in.
Rangers on track for the treble, the way things stand, 1 up. The League Cup and the League Championship are already theirs. Colin Hendry's pass goes astray, not that these Rangers supporters are bothered at the moment. Their team in pole position to win the first treble since 1993. And following in the footsteps of Manchester United, who clinched their glorious treble in Barcelona on Wednesday night. The sun is out as Colin Hendry hammers the ball clear. Gabriel Amato sets off in pursuit. Does well, not quite well enough. Allowed the ball to cross the line. He looked as if he'd done all the hard work by sprinting furiously after it. And this was the moment when the ricochet went Rod Wallace's way and the ball flew into the back of the net. Celtic trying to fight their way back, through from Lambert for Blinker. Out comes Klos. He's having a good match, Stefan Klos, making the right decisions, and he timed his departure from the goal line perfectly there. Amato against Boyd. He's got a massive physical presence, as Gabriel Amato, and he was testing out Tom Boyd there. It's a Rangers throw. Boyd a cup winner with Motherwell in '91. He was the skipper way back then, 8 years ago. And there's Tommy Johnson warming up. 3 goals in 3 games since his comeback. Celtic contemplate a change. Albertz, the right foot drifted in, headed clear by Mahe, lifted further away by Wieghorst. Amato and Larsson tangle, and on point Amoruso is way ahead of Larsson. Wallace into the feet of Neil McCann. No way past for him. Tom Boyd standing firm. Foul given against Derek McInnes. .5 minutes gone in the second half. Rangers 1 up. Rico Annoni's free kick aimed at Larsson. Hendry there first. Lambert, the winner of the Cup, aged 17 with St Mirren, all of 12 years ago. Lambert again. Wieghorst needs to keep this and wait for support. Back from Mjallby. In towards Henrik Larsson, headed away by Hendry. Winning all the aerial tussles at the moment, Rangers. Celtic try again, it's a poor effort though from Annoni. Albertz wins the loose ball. Now Porrini. A long ball for Amato, but it swerves away from him. And through for Gould.
Yeah, it was actually the right ball there that Porrini saw, but he didn't play it very well at all. Amato was free, a good diagonal ball would have put him in, but Porrini's not noted for his long crossfield passes, that has to be said.
1-2 between Mjallby and Lambert. Again, the passing not all it might be. This time Wieghorst switches from right to left. Celtic though struggling to find a way through. Looking for new ideas. Neil McCann is on the ground as Celtic try to build an attack. Wieghorst to Blinker. All the way back again to the last man, Tom Boyd. Rangers want the match stopped as quickly as possible so Neil McCann can get some attention. Celtic will want to keep the ball alive where possible. That's a free kick. And Neil McCann will get some attention now. Free kick given against Henrik Larsson. McCann is hobbling. He's been struggling with an ankle injury. Here's how he hurt himself going into the challenge. It was he who made the challenge on Mjallby. McCann came off worst. And one wonders if he'll be fit to carry on. Celtic, meanwhile, will make a change. Tommy Johnson in just a moment. Henrik Larsson again coming up against a brick wall in Lorenzo Amoruso. Exchange of passes between McInnes and Wallace. Derek McInnes did so well. The odds looked there to be stacked against him, but he made it his. And Bronckhorst. And Albertz. Rangers pushing the ball around, keeping possession. Doesn't matter if it goes backwards. They want to keep the ball. Can't keep possession. Mjallby, chested down by Larsson for Blinker. A wild swing of the boot. And Celtic still have it. Wieghorst and Moravcik. Lovely little touch from Moravcik. Brilliant change of direction. And Giovanni van Bronckhorst was beaten all ends up here and forced into the foul.
That was a strange one. They're not about to bring on a sub. I think that's where the referee stopped the game. It was a little touch from Moravcik, but Tommy Johnson is a bubbly character. He's a fresh player because he's played very, very little this season. Only come in late on. He's been scoring goals. Looks like Annoni's coming off. Right decision to make at this stage. The game is running away from Celtic. A goal down, taking off a defender, bringing on another forward player. Give themselves an opportunity to get back. Eventually see if Johnson goes right up, and I think he will. Be a very dangerous player for Rangers to have to pick up.
So Annoni off, and Tommy Johnson on. He made his comeback to the first team just 3 weeks ago at Dunfermline. He marked it with 2 goals, and he's got 3 in 3 games. What difference can he make? A free kick played in by Paul Lambert. Reggie Blinker can't quite get the ball under control. And then Stubbs trying to find some room. It was Mahe who fired the shot. It was blocked. Blinker plays it in. Room for Wieghorst. What a chance! Saved by Klos. And hacked away by Amoruso. Kept in by Bronckhorst for Albertz. What a good chance that was for Wieghorst. He wasn't picked up by Rangers. He did hit the target. And Stefan Klos made a very solid save. Celtic try to keep the heat on. McCann is off the pitch. He's now come back on. Still suffering. And Rangers indebted to Klos.
Yeah, it was an excellent save. I mean, Rangers didn't get the ball away. It fell to Wieghorst and he went for the near post. I thought he might have gone across the goal going for the other side, but I think that the keeper did very, very well. Reaction save. There was certainly defenders in front of him. He must have seen it late.
51,746 inside New Look Hampden. Watching this Old Firm Cup final. That's a foul against Reggie Blinker, and I think a yellow card as well for him. He reacted angrily to the fact that the free kick had been given. He was late on McInnes. Stubbs were showing. Down went the Rangers man, and out went the yellow card of Hugh Dallas. That was dangerous surely from Blinker, and he reacted angrily as well, and that's what he gets.
Yeah, it was a late challenge. I think he got caught in possession of the ball and he was annoyed with himself, and then reacted in a frustrated manner to make that reckless challenge. And he may have hurt McInnes there actually, so I mean, I certainly think he certainly deserved to get the card, but I think Neil McCann is still sort of limping away at times. You just wonder if he's going to run this off or stay on the field.
It looks as if Ian Ferguson will come on shortly for Rangers. He's getting changed in the dugout area, and it may well be McCann who comes off and Rangers reshuffle. Here's Wallace, the scorer. Free kick given. Wieghorst looks heavenward. There's a wry smile on the face of Rod Wallace.
I think that was a dive, to be honest with you. I think he made the most of that because he's only just run in. Wieghorst can't go anywhere, and I think that he's caught the ref a bit there, Wallace.
The Rangers do have a set-piece opportunity arising from that. Amato and Vidmar and Wallace and McCann all in the box, and Bronckhorst with the free kick. It was blocked by Moravcik. And Bronckhorst again in towards Wallace. Tom Boyd works it clear, straight back out to Bronckhorst. Lambert and Wieghorst. Over the top for Tommy Johnson. Hendry's with him. Blocked by Hendry. That was good patient defending. Albertz. He's pacey and he's powerful. And he can pass as well. That was for Amato. Touched back by Stubbs to Gould. Johnson's lay off. And Bronckhorst reacting quickly. Long ball from Amoruso to Amato. Skimmed off the top of Mjallby's head. Again, well played out by Boyd.
Yeah, Tommy Boyd's had a good match as well. they'd done the job on Neil McCann, and McCann's still limping slightly. I wonder if he's going to last much longer, but Celtic have adjusted to having a back four. Mjallby and Stubbs playing at the centre defence there, and we got the two full-backs, Boyd and Mahe, and three up in the midfield with Moravcik just playing off them with Johnson and Larsson up front.
In the danger area, and a shot from Alan Stubbs. What a save! Stefan Klos denies Alan Stubbs, who had two cracks at it, and the German keeper standing firm.
Well, two brilliant efforts, you have to say. First one certainly caught Colin Hendry. I think he took the full brunt of it, and the second one on his left foot. They're well saved. It was at the keeper though, a good height for him as well, but there was plenty of power in it, but the one that hit Hendry was certainly flying.
Good reactions from Klos. The hands went up very quickly. The shot was pretty much directly at him, but you see what that meant in the Celtic dugout area. They have had a couple of half chances in the last few minutes. One for Wieghorst, which went straight at the keeper, and then that was powerfully hit from Stubbs. Firstly Hendry in the way in the first effort, and then Stefan Klos the second time around.
Looking at Ian Ferguson down there, Rob, about to come on, you just think that it might be McCann, and they'll push Wallace back up front alongside Amato and just go for a very, very solid midfield there with Ian Ferguson in there just to keep it tight as Celtic push forward, and maybe they want somebody just to sit in front of that back four because Moravcik is now playing just off them.
It was a surprise when Ian Ferguson was named the Rangers Cup final squad, and he's about to be introduced to the action because that's the end of Neil McCann's Cup final. He was a winner with Hearts 12 months ago against Rangers, and he's a winner today at the moment, the way things stand, for Rangers. Ian Ferguson, who hasn't started a match for Rangers for nearly 6 months, is back in the fray.
Yeah, the push. He's gone straight on and pushed Wallace up front alongside Amato. Just a thought, he'll sit in there and cover Moravcik. They think Moravcik is getting a bit of freedom in that area with Pierce just sitting in front of the Celtic midfield, just off the Rangers back four. Ferguson will sit in there and just make sure they give nothing away. Rangers determined to just hold on to this. If they can build on it, fine, but first concern is to lose nothing, then the game's won.
Paul Lambert trying to turn the game Celtic's way, trying to craft an equaliser. Boyd to Mjallby. Wieghorst with Tony Vidmar at his back. Celtic forced back the way. Moravcik screaming to Tom Boyd, the pass was played to him. Alan Stubbs, complete breakdown in communication there. Nobody near the goal when it landed, and little tactical tinkering by Dick Advocat. There's a contented look about him at the moment. His team is one up. Moravcik, lovely touch to pull the ball down. He was under pressure from Ian Ferguson as well. Bunker's ball down the line for Mahe. Lambert supporting. Mahe's cross, Tommy Johnson's header, and the first involvement for Ferguson. The ball thumped out of the area. Back from Moravcik to Wieghorst. Celtic has to commit players forward. Moravcik given a free rein, popping up all over the pitch and towards Larsson, headed away by Hendry. Amoruso looked to take its last touch off the boot of Tommy Johnson. Again, Amoruso very much in control.
The Celtic are definitely now committing more players forward, and the Rangers back four have held firm today, and they're going to be asked for another 20 minutes now just to do the same. But as I say, Johnson is pushing right up front against him. He hasn't really been in the game much. With that header there back across goal, but they haven't really got him in. But he's certainly a player who likes to shoot for goal every time he gets the ball. If he gets the ball down at all and get onto that left side, he'll be firing in a shot.
The Albertz free kick into the feet of Amato. Again, keeps possession well. Albertz looking for the run of Sergio Porrini, intercepted by Blinker. Larsson's layoff from Moravcik. He's angry with himself, and a header outside the area for Stefan Klos. He couldn't wait for the ball to reach him inside the area.
It's unlike Moravcik there. That was a great opportunity with Tommy Johnson making a little diagonal run. If he just sent a decent ball in there, in behind the defence, it would have had Rangers turning. It could have caused them real problems, but he didn't hit it properly at all. But Phil O'Donnell also warming up. You just wonder if he's going to get brought on shortly.
Rangers have it with Hendry. Accurate pass and well controlled by Amato. Larsson wins it back for Celtic. Paul Lambert's pass. Moravcik very quickly closed down by Derek McInnes. It's for Mahe. Blinker's back heel. Clever play. Moravcik. Lambert to Stubbs. Comes off Larsson. Stubbs again. Hendry's header. Chance for the equaliser. And another important challenge denies Stefan Mahe. And it was Derek McInnes. This was timely from the Rangers midfielder.
It was good play all round from Celtic as they broke forward, and then a good header that was won by Hendry. And as the ball came in, Mahe was closed down by McInnes. Couldn't get a decent shot in.
McInnes has already played a big part in this match for Rangers. Sometimes when he does, isn't immediately noticed, but that was so important that he blocked out the shot from Mahe as Celtic looked to have a chance to equalise. The latest player hobbling is Rod Wallace. He casts a glance across at the dugout, and when the ball is out of play, he will be looking for some attention, I'm sure. Wieghorst's header. It was Amoruso, and back from Albertz to Vidmar. Joseph Wengler's almost on the pitch at the moment, so eager is he to get his team playing the way he wants them to play. Mahe sets off. Keen to atone for what happened 4 weeks ago. He made headlines for all the wrong reasons in the last Old Firm match. Alan Stubbs through to Tommy Johnson. His shot blocked by Hendry. Stubbs again, and Wieghorst, and Johnson, and wide. They were queuing up there, were Celtic, to have a shot at goal. Finally it was Johnson, but couldn't get the effort he was looking for. Deflected wide corner kick.
Players being injured all over the place as well. This is what I said about Tommy Johnson. A player who loves to shoot. He certainly doesn't look to pass the ball when he gets in the penalty box. 2 efforts there. First one blocked, second one just deflected wide. Stubbs certainly took a knock there as he managed to squeeze that ball forward. There was Rod Wallace who was coming back, who has also been limping minutes ago, who got in that late challenge on Stubbs. You can see Hendry limping in there. Porrini has also been limping in recent minutes, so there's quite a few players that have been in the wars today. It's certainly not been a dirty game by any means, but very, very physical. No quarter asked, none given. Phil O'Donnell warming up now, maybe about to come on. It would be certainly a big blow if Celtic lost Stubbs, because having taken off Annoni, they lost another defender. Now they would really be at risk at the back. Only 3 recognised defenders.
He landed awkwardly there, did Stubbs. Here comes the corner kick from Moravcik. Stefan Klos again looking in trouble under a well-flighted corner kick. Alan Stubbs was trying to make his presence felt here. Touched away. And a corner kick on the other side. For Lambert this time, headed away by Albertz. Back in from Moravcik. Hendry and Amoruso both underneath it. Flicked away by Bronckhorst. Lambert to Larsson. Moravcik. Headed away by Amoruso. Wieghorst flung himself at it, but Amoruso's eyes were firmly fixed on the ball. Again, decisive defending. Moravcik, can he unlock this Rangers defence? It's back with the Slovakian. Flighted in towards Stubbs. Again it's Amoruso. McInnes for Amato. 1 against 1. Mahe got back as Amato hesitated.
Yeah, just seen the big flaw in Amato's game. Robbed there. Chance to go 1v1, no pace.
Moravcik towards Johnson. That man Amoruso again. And Derek McInnes settles for the throw as Wieghorst came diving in.
I think if you're Dick Abakai, be worried that Rangers are beginning to play very, very deep now, and that Celtic are on top of them. They're throwing the ball in the box, and although they continue to defend well, it only takes a little back break of the ball dropping down, and somebody getting a shot from close in. Kanchelskis is definitely going on. Yeah, Kanchelskis is going on now. They're taking off Porrini by the looks of it.
Sergio Porrini, I know, is feeling the back of his knee. It may well be a spot of hamstring trouble. He was requiring some attention earlier on, and his Scottish Cup final is over. And
I'd imagine Derek McInnes will go into right back position, Rob, just to keep that intact in there. I don't think that they'd want to give away that shape that they have. The big job from the Miss Porrini, but he's certainly been limping for quite a little bit of time. Kanchelskis gives him another option now to get him out with his pace. They can burst forward, but Rangers are encamped at the moment. I don't know if Dick Abakai would want that, but they're playing very, very deep, just on the edge of their box.
Rangers have made their switch. Celtic about to make a change as well. Phil O'Donnell standing by to come on. Not much more than 12 minutes left, plus some stoppage time, if Celtic are to keep this cup final alive. Hendry's been a heroic figure for Rangers this match. They've been so solid in central defence. They're having to soak up a fair bit of pressure in the last while. And they'll, as Gordon said, be looking to play the game a little bit further forward. The Johnson flick for Henrik Larsson. So quick with the shot. But Stefan Klos was very well positioned to make the save.
Yeah, that's a big problem of sitting so far back as Rangers aren't defending from there, that any little things that are breaking are all within shooting distance. On that occasion there, Larsson, not the best of shots, you have to say, but getting free, and he could quite easily have put that in the net if he'd just got a bit more pace on it, a bit more accuracy in the shot. But O'Donnell is going to come on now, I think, for Mahe. Another attacking option, take the defender off. Mahe has done pretty well in that second half, getting down the left-hand side a bit more, but not quite the quality when he gets into attacking positions. But O'Donnell has the pace, the running power, and also the finishing ability to cause Rangers problems on that side, now that they don't have Porrini there. I think that's the reason why they want to try and get O'Donnell on, so they can push Blinker out wide and get him against Derek McInnes, who's taking up the right-back position.
This will be Phil O'Donnell's last match for Celtic before departing, along with Simon Donnelly, for Sheffield Wednesday. Can he make an impact? Colin Hendry, good ball out from the back, aimed at Kanchelskis. Up went Johan Mjallby to cut out the danger. Again, the strength on the ball of Amato. And the deflection gives Rangers the throw. And he's so hard to shift. He's the man Rangers signed from Real Mallorca last summer. May well be heading away, Amato. Dick Abakai contemplates a clean out in the summer and a rebuilding as Rangers hope to head towards the Champions League. But too casual at the back. Van Bronckhorst fortunate to look across and see the offside flag up against Henrik Larsson, who'd drifted in behind. The Rangers defenders looked across and claimed, and the flag was up. The minutes are ticking away for Celtic inside the last 10. Some stoppage time will be added. Paul Lambert clever on the ball and clattered into by Van Bronckhorst. I make him a fortunate man to have escaped without a yellow card in this match. And still grounded is Paul Lambert. This is trouble for Celtic as George Albertz charges forward unchallenged into Wallace and Amato! Saved by Gould, that's brilliant and so important. It keeps Celtic in the match. Celtic, I'm sure, are unhappy that their midfield general was grounded as Rangers surged forward. And what a save by Gould.
Fabulous save. Guiltiest chance, you have to say, but what a fantastic stop from Gould getting across there. I can't believe it. But it would have been tough on Celtic with Paul Lambert injured there. Definitely a foul, and the referee, Mr. Dallas, thinking he's given Celtic the advantage by playing on there, and it worked totally against them as Rangers won the ball back and then attack forward, and Albertz break into space. It was a surprise for me that Albertz passed it. Certainly shooting angle and shooting distance from where he was. Decided to play it, but it was exactly the right thing to do. Amato couldn't finish.
What a chance that was for his 10th goal for Rangers. Couldn't take it, but Rangers do have a corner kick. In from Van Bronckhorst, and trouble at the near post. Finally cut out by Wieghorst, but there seemed to be confusion. But it's a goal kick.
It was a tremendous corner. They are really difficult to defend. I thought it was a corner kick again as well, to be honest with you. I thought Wieghorst or Mjallby, whoever was marking him, that couldn't quite see that near post. I thought they nodded it out, and I think Wallace felt the same, but Celtic got away with it.
Albertz was tackled late by Wieghorst. Another trailing leg, and you can take it for granted that Dick Advocat wouldn't speak highly of this challenge from Wieghorst. The ball had gone as he moved in.
Yeah, it was dangerous. I don't think it was so bad, but he certainly went in a little bit slightly late. Definitely a foul. Caught Albertz, not completely, and I don't think that he's all that hurt, to be honest. I think he'll get back on his feet, but he's got the yellow card, there's no doubt about that.
So a third yellow card for Celtic, Mjallby and Blinker, and now Wieghorst all booked, and George Albertz will be in no great hurry to get back to his feet, as he'll look up at the giant electronic scoreboards at each end of the ground, which say Celtic 0, Rangers 1. What they also say is 83 and a half minutes are gone.
Yeah, time's run out. And if that goal had gone in, if Amato had finished there, for me, totally all over. Celtic, no way that they come back from being 2 goals down, but as it is, the game remains open. They're still in with a shout.
Yes, 1-0 is still a fragile lead for Rangers.
After last Wednesday night, Rob, you're never going to see a game's over when there's a minute to go, are you?
Until that legendary fat lady gets up with a microphone. Here's Mjallby. Henrik Larsson making a run for him. Took too long, looked up, and he was immediately robbed by Albertz. That's a foul by Tom Boyd, and Hugh Dallas again reaching into his top pocket. That's what you call a professional foul. Tom Boyd knew that Albertz had pushed the ball beyond him, and there was real trouble for Celtic.
Yeah. Rangers fans maybe calling for a red card there, but no way that's a red card, but definitely a yellow. A trip, Albertz was gone. Good work by Albertz. He robbed Mjallby, did well to do that. Sprinted forward, I think Tom Boyd certainly felt he could win the ball there as he went across to it, but Albertz just pushed it on ahead of himself, took the full clatter, but he's back on his feet. He's okay. That allows Rangers to move up the field and also have a possible shot at goal. Amoruso is going to try one of his special long-range efforts here. The corner flag's not under pressure at this stage.
Here's Amoruso, not far away. As long as it's inside about 75 yards, it's within shooting distance for him.
It's a
But you have
great
to
effort.
say that this was not far away. I don't think Jonathan Gould knew where it was going.
Yeah, certainly a little bit of a curl. Loads of confidence from those sort of situations. I say normally well off target with them, but that one really did cause problems. Amoruso had a superb game today, all round. He's defending, and that would just have capped it all if he'd gone to put that in the net. He'd have been a very happy man tonight if Rangers got to win the cup. As we know, Rob, also there's talk, we know that found out today definitely Juventus are trying to buy Amoruso for next season, but I don't think the Rangers fans after today would like to see him go.
He's one man Rangers don't want to leave, and that's all the more amazing when you consider early on in the season I think the Rangers supporters would have given him away. He was struggling for fitness and form. He's certainly found it now. From Bronckhorst to Amato. Kanchelskis is in support. Can he keep that in? Yes, he can. In the middle, waiting, Rod Wallace. Fired in low, but can't get beyond Alan Stubbs. Kept in by Moravcik. Lambert to Alan Stubbs, racing forward. Celtic have to take chances in search of the equaliser. Wins the free kick. In a hurry to get on with it. Rod Wallace trying to hold things up, and what a silly booking that is. Yellow for Wallace as he tried to waste some time. A goal and a booking for Wallace. He won't mind the latter too much if the former turns out to be the winner. In from Tom Boyd. And back in again. Amoruso in charge. And onto the loose ball as Albertz is getting better. Albertz as the game goes on. He was sometimes anonymous in the first half. He's lost it there though. Played in by Wieghorst. To Moravcik, headed away by Amoruso. Lambert stretching out to win it back. Wieghorst needs a good ball in. Out comes Klos. And Moravcik. Klos blocked it. What a scramble. It's Lambert. Was that handball?
I can't believe that.
Surely that was stopped by the hands. The claims are waved away by Hugh Dallas.
No question in my mind.
Amoruso was the man in the way. The Celtic supporters can't believe this.
No question in my mind that it was handball. It's hard to say. Hard to say, not conclusive. The referee was a lot closer, obviously.
The Moravcik corner kick. It's Tony Vidmar's header. Boyd to Wieghorst. Knocked over by Lorenzo Amoruso. Now Boyd. Celtic need it back in the box. Looks like Custer's last stand inside that Rangers penalty area at the moment. Wieghorst again, and Vidmar. Boyd goes chasing. Colin Hendry won an important header. It falls for Kanchelskis. Rangers get some respite. McInnes finds Ferguson. Rangers breathe a sigh of relief after a spell of intense pressure piled on by Celtic inside the last minute of normal time.
Yeah, we certainly want to see that one again. Very, very close decision. I thought at the time it looked like a handball, but in the angle it was at, he may just have got his body in there and his arm out of the way, but yeah, I think he did. I think he got his arm out of the way.
I think that looked like his chest.
Yeah.
And yet another
referee correct.
Yet another good decision. An important decision for Hugh Dallas. He was under pressure 4 weeks ago in all sorts of ways, and there was a real pressure point for the referee. He doesn't have the benefit of reruns as we do. He had to make that in a split second, and it looks as if he's got it absolutely right. Lorenzo Amoruso bent towards it, he stooped, and it looked as if it flew off his chest, not his arm, and the referee was absolutely right to say no penalty.
Yeah, I think you'd have to say that. Very tight one, and he could easily have been swayed into giving it with a roar that went up. Celtic supporters definitely felt cheated there, but the TV evidence might just prove the referee got it spot on.
90 minutes have come and gone of this 10th Scottish Cup final. 4 minutes of stoppage time to be added. Kanchelskis. Fresh legs for Rangers. Ian Ferguson, another second half substitution. Mistake by Tom Boyd. Kanchelskis getting beyond Phil O'Donnell, but he couldn't quite keep it in. Nearly a minute of stoppage time gone. What a moment it will be for Dick Advocat if Rangers can hold out. Both Amoruso and Hendry went for that. It was Colin Hendry who cleared. Up towards Henrik Larsson. Away from Vidmar. Tony Vidmar got back. Larsson still has it, and Vidmar again. Good defending, important defending. Larsson and Moravcik combine. Played in with the outside of the left foot. Here's a chance for Alan Stubbs, blocked by Colin Hendry.
Stubbs, he slipped a little bit. It was a great ball in from Moravcik. You see it go across. A number of people fell to Stubbs, and he just blocked by Henry as Henry threw himself into the challenge.
Celtic have had their chances in the second half. Stefan Klos still unbeaten. Rangers may make another change. Scott Wilson is stripped in the dugout area. This will be a substitution to waste some time, undoubtedly. Kanchelskis to Albertz. Blocked by Blinker. Obstruction, free kick. And an opportunity for Rangers to seal the win from a set piece.
Little body check. You bet your boots Amoruso will want to hit this one as well. He wants to score a goal in this game. He performed so well for Rangers, heroics at the back, an opportunity to go and score and just put the game beyond doubt. But I think even at this stage, Celtic, with time running out, it looks as if it's all over, but Amoruso looks as if he's going to hit this.
3 minutes of stoppage time gone. And Bronckhorst, Albertz, Amoruso all there. It's Van Bronckhorst, and it's off target.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad effort. At least a couple of yards wide, but just trying to whip. I think they're going to try to make the change, get Scott Wilson on, possibly put him into the right back position, and maybe take off like they did at McInnes. Is a good day, but hard to sell. I would think more likely to take off a forward at this stage than a defender. I have to be said.
Hugh Dallas has already had a few glances at the watch. There's not much to add.
Yeah, it's Amato, Gabriel Amato. Yeah, that doesn't want to shift his back for his defence. Just get Wilson on there to sit in, soak up some of the pressure that is going to come Rangers' way in the last minute.
I wonder if this will be Gabriel Amato's swan song as a Rangers player. Off he comes. He might well have scored Rangers second in this match. On comes Scott Wilson, and we're into the 5th minute of stoppage time. Played forward by Johan Mjallby. Tommy Johnson's header. Underneath it was Amoruso. And Bronckhorst. The final whistle goes. Rangers have won the treble. In his first season of Scottish football, Dick Advocat wins all 3, and Rod Wallace is the match winner. Goal number 27 for Rangers, and it was the only goal of this game. 4 minutes into the second half. Wallace was the sharpest in the penalty box as the ball ricocheted his way, and he gave Jonathan Gould, no chance. Gabriel Amato, who's barely left the pitch, is already back on it, joining the celebrations. Lorenzo Amoruso, the match-winning skipper, and Stefan Klos arguably has played his best match in a Rangers jersey this afternoon. The Rangers supporters have been unconvinced so far by some of his performances, but he was important to them today. And how important was that man to Rangers today? Lorenzo Amoruso, totally commanding, totally dominant, and he snuffed out the threat of the Celtic strikers. Colin Hendry as well, in partnership with Amoruso at the back. Now, this was a team showing from Rangers. And the Rangers supporters prepare for a treble party. First it was the League Cup, then the League Championship, finally shaking off Celtic. And the third part of the treble is now in place. The Tennant Scottish Cup, and it makes up for a losing performance in last year's final. Beaten by Hearts by 2-1. Ali McCann scored a goal late on, which was of little consolation to Rangers. Last year losers, this year winners in this 14th Old Firm Cup final. It's a dream come true for a lifelong Rangers supporter like Colin Hendry. And let's hear now from the Rangers manager, Dick Advocaat.
Your first season in charge, you've done the domestic treble. Can you describe how this moment feels for us?
Well, difficult to describe. Everybody knew when we started here with the team and what we achieved so far. It's beautiful.
How comfortable did you feel throughout that second half, sitting on that 1-goal lead?
Yeah, well, they took all the risk at the last 15 minutes and we had some problems. But there's always the same, if they take the other side get the chance, and we got the chance with Amato. There was an open chance to score 2-0, but by the way, I'm very happy.
Now, you spent millions amassing this team, but ironically it's the man who cost you nothing, Rod Wallace, that's made the difference today. How important a capture has he been for you?
Yeah, he is a great player, straight from the beginning. He played all the games, also on practice, so we are very happy that we got that kind of player in our squad.
You've done it all already. What now is your primary concern and ambition with Rangers?
But to improve the squad, I think that's the most important thing. And again, next season, try to become champion again.
And more signings to come in the summertime?
Not that many, no.
Okay, thank you very much, Dick. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
Not that many, says Dick Advocaat, but I'm sure there will be some more Rangers signings to come following in the wake of Michael Moles, who will join up during the summer. Some sad faces there among the Celtic players who've given a lot in this match, but in the end they have to settle for second prize and runners-up medals. Reggie Blinker, substitute Tommy Johnson, Johan Mjallby, who'll head off now to play for Sweden against England, the heroic Paul Lambert, who gave it his best shot, and Alan Stubbs. Might that be the last time we see him in a Celtic jersey? Hugh Dallas deserves praise as well for handling this cup final in the wake of the shameful scenes at Celtic Park 4 weeks ago. He had a big heart then, he stood up to it well. And he made a big decision at the end of this match when he denied Celtic a penalty kick, which they were screaming for. And our pictures appear to prove Hugh Dallas absolutely right. Medals as well for David Doig and John Love, the two assistant referees, and for Kenny Clark, the fourth official. Keep your hair on, Dick. As Dick Advocaat gets thrown in the air, similar to the scenes we saw involving another Dutchman last season. That was Wim Jansen, the Celtic head coach, as Celtic won the title and the League Cup. That might be half a dozen Rangers players being fined, I think, after that little display, but they won't mind too much. And here's a sweet moment coming up for Lorenzo Amoruso and the Rangers players, management and supporters. Rangers take delivery of the Tennant Scottish Cup, and that makes it a clean sweep of Scottish football's big prizes. Stefan Klos gets a touch on the silverware as well, and look what it means to a player who thought he might well be on the way out earlier in the season. Colin Hendry, who may well need some repairs now to his damaged groin. Neil McCann was taken off injured in the second half. Will both have to be excluded from Craig Bound's plans? We'll find out. Ian Ferguson, a pleasant surprise to him, I'm sure, to be involved in these cup final celebrations. Rod Wallace, the match winner, 27 times he's scored this season. Scott Wilson, a late addition to the action. Sergio Porrini, who went off injured, an Italian cup winner 4 years ago. And the Scottish Cup for him this time. Derek McInnes played solidly at the heart of the midfield for Rangers. Andre Kanchelskis came on as a late substitute. Tony Vidmar has answered back to some of his critics this season. And Gabriel Amato, another upon whom there is a big question mark during the close season. Will he stay on with Rangers? Will he be offloaded? And last but not least, Jonathan Johansson picks up his medal. Dick Advocat, a broad smile across his face. He's led Rangers to domination of domestic football this season. They didn't do half badly in Europe either. In the UEFA Cup, they were beaten by the eventual winners, Parma. And for half of the match in Italy, they did pretty well as well. They will hope to build on that. And in Europe next season, they will hope firstly to unlock the door to the lucrative Champions League, and beyond that they'll look to make a big impression in the tournament itself. Some fine-tuning undoubtedly to be done, some additions to be made to the squad, some pruning to take place. Some faces will disappear, some will be added. Rangers will be a better bet, I'm sure, by the time the season gets underway. But they've proved better than the rest already this season in Scottish football. They've won the lot, and Lorenzo Amoruso has had all 3 major trophies above his head. 20,000 Rangers supporters inside Hampden. They're singing with one voice. It's been a season for them to savour. It'll be celebration time tonight, not just for the supporters, but for these players as well. This has been Rangers' 55th match of the season, and it's all ended in glory for the Ibrox team. They are the champions, and they've been simply the best as far as Scottish football goes. Celtic will hope that they can come back next season as a stronger combination. They'll hope that they'll have some solidity and some continuity during the summer to rebuild their squad and to give Rangers an even tougher challenge next time round. Celtic, who had 2 trophies last season, but it's a barren season for them this time round, and it's Rangers who've got very much the upper hand. Let's hear from the skipper, Lorenzo Amoruso, with Chick.
Lorenzo, captain of the treble-winning team, what a turnaround in your season. What can I say? Brilliant season. I think today has been very hard playing for everybody, difficult game, but I think we deserve to win this Scottish Cup, because on the end I think we had the best performance today in Celtic, and I think everybody today gave the maximum, 100%, maybe more, because we didn't deserve this cup win. And the treble is brilliant because I think it's been a difficult season, but everybody is working hard to do that. I think there'll be some time before you stop talking. You're clearly very happy, man, tonight. Listen, to win is beautiful, it's marvelous. Here we go! Good.
Lorenzo Amoruso wearing a very amusing hairpiece. Maybe it was the reporter who should have been wearing the hairpiece there, but adding to the colour of the occasion. And the colours tonight are red, blue and white. As Chick sticks his microphone under another nose, and it's the nose of Colin Hendry.
Colin, some party ahead of you tonight. I can hardly walk. I came into the game not 100% fit, and I thought I've got to give it everything I can, and I can hardly walk now, and that was the way it was after the game at Parkhead when we won the league. This is probably the wrong time to ask you about Scotland then next week. Well, I left the message at 2 weeks, Craig, and I think Craig appreciated the position I was in. I mean, you're always up to the next game. The next game's always the most important. One goal was always going to sort that game out today, wasn't it? Yeah, there's a lot of near things, a lot of close saves, but I think in the end the best team always wins. Is that the right? With no regrets about coming back to Scotland now. No regrets about coming back to Scotland now. I've not had any regrets. People just want to make assumptions, you know. I only moved into my house a month ago, so let's settle down now. Can I settle down? March on there tonight. Oh, last summer. Thanks, Colin.
Colin Hendry is staying with Rangers. That appears to be the message. He's got a nice new house in the Bridge of Allen area, not yet completed. And having sampled success with Rangers this season, and what success, the treble, he wants more. Although it won't be the surprise of the season if Colin Hendry, along with Neil McCann, withdraws from the Scotland squad upcoming, the 2 European qualifiers. In fact, let's hear from Neil McCann now.
Neil, I don't think you'll be feeling the pain of that injury now, will you? No, I'm afraid the injury going to my Monday. Look at it tomorrow, but tonight's obviously on. What a season it's been for you. I mean, 2 in a row, 2 cup wins in a row for you. Incredible. It's been a fantastic year. It's absolutely magnificent to be part of a table-winning Rangers side, and hopefully we can go into better things as well. You start thinking about Europe already in just a couple of beers and champagne style. I'm sure Europe will come into our thoughts tonight when we're singing a few beers. What were you supporting behind you? Absolutely magnificent. They deserve their buttons. It's fantastic all season. I think they want to see the Scottish Cup.
That's what it was all about. Today, the old trophy, the Tennent's Scottish Cup, and it's firmly in Rangers' possession. That will be locked away tonight in the Rangers trophy room, and it's in good company alongside the new Scottish Premier League Championship trophy, and also the Scottish League Cup, won back in November. Rangers have won the lot, and you can't keep the smiles off those faces. A satisfied look on the management team's faces. The Dutch combination of Dick Advocaat and Bert van Lingen, the man who scribbles constantly in the dugout, constantly making notes, trying to improve on the way things have gone. It's going to be difficult to improve domestically on the way things have gone this season. Where Rangers will look for big improvements next season is on the European stage. These are the pictures that you will be seeing in your Sunday morning newspapers. They're the pictures that you're seeing live from BBC Scotland. Our unrivaled coverage of the Tennent's Scottish Cup final. Giovanni van Bronckhorst, what an outstanding performer he's been this season for Rangers. Now an unlikely hero this afternoon, late addition to the Rangers Cup final squad, Ian Ferguson.
That's I think 24 senior medals or something of that ilk. How does that compare? 23 I think I said. 23 after this, well, maybe you were getting so much out there. How does that one compare?
Oh, magnificent, as I said before. I just couldn't believe I was actually in the squad. Been out for 5.5 months, come back for 2 reserve games, and to find yourself in this atmosphere, different class.
You've been a love affair with cup finals in this stadium, haven't you?
It's been a lucky stadium for me, I must admit that, but I still can't believe it's let a dream come true.
You're looking for a wee bit of celebration tonight, I suspect.
Well, I don't normally drink, but every time we win a cup, I seem to take a wee drink, so you might think I'm an alcoholic now.
Then you've got another couple of seasons ahead of you.
What's that?
Another couple of seasons ahead of you at Rangers.